I'm tired. I'm really tired. Oh. Right. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to South Clip. Today, I'm going to be doing a video that's slightly different to like what I've done in the past. So yeah, basically, a video on dyslexia. The reason why I want to talk about dyslexia is, well, A, because I am dyslexic myself, and B, because I think it's just something that like a lot of people don't completely understand what it is. Like, most people think dyslexia is just something that people have, and it means that basically they just can't read or write properly. That's not exactly what it is. So I was myself diagnosed with dyslexia at the age of 10. Before that, I was just seen as, well, mainly by my teachers in school, I was just seen as a daydreamer or someone who just couldn't concentrate very well. There are, believe it or not, actually people out there who literally just don't believe in dyslexia. They just don't think it exists. Some people think it's just like, an excuse for people who can't concentrate. That's definitely not true. So firstly, I'm going to be talking about people with dyslexia. 1 in 5 people are dyslexic. Right, that's fact. Secondly, if you are dyslexic, it doesn't mean you're stupid. It simply means that your brain works in a different way. Literally, some of the most successful and intelligent people of all time were dyslexic, e.g. Walt Disney, Winston Churchill, Leonardo da Vinci, Albert Einstein, Richard Branson, Picasso, Muhammad Ali and Steven Spielberg. They were all dyslexic. That's fact, right? Also, another thing about dyslexia, it's not really so much a learning disability, because it's more to do with how your brain works. It's not a disability. It's not something you can't do. You just do it in a different way to non-dyslexic people. So a more accurate kind of name for it, it sounds a bit more complex, a neurological condition. And that kind of leads on to my next kind of section, which is the brain of a dyslexic. So firstly, your brain has a left and a right side. Well, technically all things have a left and right. Like even if you split it in half, that side still has its own left and right. I'm going to start that again. So basically, dyslexic people are right brain dominant, and non-dyslexic people are left brain dominant. So dyslexic people's brain relies mostly on their right hand side of the brain, whereas non-dyslexic people on the left hand side of your brain. Schools teach in a left brain dominant way for people to learn effectively, partly while dyslexics struggle at school. So the left hand side of your brain is mostly used for language, reading and math, so it's more kind of academic, whereas your right hand side of the brain is mainly kind of for more creative stuff like art, drama. I was never really good at art, to be fair, but drama, yeah, it was probably more of a strength of mine. This is kind of just like an overall, like kind of on average. So dyslexics struggle with language processing because we use the right hand side of the brain to process language, but your left hand side of the brain is primary for that. And it's not like, you can't just say, oh, why don't you use your left hand side of the brain? It's not as simple as that. We don't do it on purpose. We can't help with that. Our brain works that way. It's just, that's how it is. But yes, that kind of makes reading slower, and that kind of partly explains the whole reading and writing problem that dyslexic people have. Reading is also slower. Dyslexics see words in parts, whereas as a non-dyslexic, you're more, you see words just as a whole. An example of word is, I'm going to say sinister. That's not actually as random as you think. I have my DVD rack behind you, and sinister is just the first one I looked at. So non-dyslexic people would see it as sinister, just one, word. That's how you'd see it. Whereas a dyslexic person would see it as like, sin-ister, like parts. Every word we look at, we have to like kind of break it down. It takes time to break down words and decode words. Now, mainly going into kind of school with dyslexia. School and college, or basically your education up to the end of A levels at least, is the hardest time of a dyslexic person's life. After that, it's so much easier because you can choose what you want to do. You decide, and obviously you're going to choose something you're good at. Well, I don't see why you wouldn't do that, I'm not sure, But obviously by then it's a lot easier. And just because school is the hardest time of a dyslexic person's life, doesn't mean you can't get good grades. being a dyslexic myself and having, you know, finished GCSEs, A-levels, I know that. I feel for a dyslexic person I actually got quite decent grades. I got an A in one of my English exams. I actually got a C overall, but I still got an A in one of the exams. That's what I like to focus more on, is the fact that I actually got an A in a subject that dyslexic people tend to struggle with. Out of 11 GCSEs that I took, 9 of them I got a C and a B in. In my A-levels I also got all C's and B's. So, you know, just because you're dyslexic doesn't mean you can't do it. It simply means, basically, it's just a bit unfair because you have to work harder than a non-dyslexic just to achieve the same. Some more facts about dyslexia. One fact is, every person with dyslexia has above average or average intelligence. If you're dyslexic, I'm hoping that's kind of inspirational. Also, I only actually found out about this myself, but apparently a dyslexic person's brain is actually the slightest bit bigger than a non-dyslexic's brain. Now, what I'm not saying there is non-dyslexic people are stupid or we're better than you. That's definitely not what I'm saying. Being dyslexic does not make you more or less intelligent than a non-dyslexic. As I said, it simply means your brain works differently. However, the brain of a dyslexic person just does happen to be bigger in size. That's just fact. It doesn't mean, I don't mean anything by that. That's just another fact I found out about dyslexic people. Now, what I'm hoping you don't do is watch this and think this is just a biased video because the dyslexic person himself is talking about it. I just think it's better for someone dyslexic to talk about it because A, they have a better understanding because, you know, I've actually been through, you know, life with dyslexia. So yeah, it's just basically, it's easier for me to relate to, isn't it? So I know that was kind of a bit more of a different video, I guess, a bit more serious, but also I'm really hoping it's more educational and for dyslexics themselves inspirational, I'm hoping as well. But that's literally all I wanted to say for this video. Let me know, like, if you kind of like this type of video, you know, if you prefer it to my normal sort of genre, I guess, either by leaving a like or something in the comments. It'd also be greatly appreciated if you could subscribe if you hadn't already. But have a good day and week. Also, don't you think it's just really mean how they put the letter Y in the word dyslexic when they know that spelling is something we tend to struggle with? I just think that's really unfair. Why couldn't you just put the letter I instead of the Y? D-I-S. It just makes more sense, doesn't it?